welcome back. It's Mom. Can I have another $1?
Do you guys remember
We're
when...
gearing up for... He was just strapping mortar shells to his leg.
You guys
I
remember
guess that's how they plan to execute Operation Wolf.
That's in case he gets captured. Nick.
Do you guys remember when you put your boots on and it sounded like a zipper when you tied your laces?
Some boots have zippers, Kyle. Get out of here.
That boot didn't, though.
You don't know that.
Actually, my boots in the military did have...
Yep.
They did have
I
zippers.
gotcha. So anyway, yeah, this is that game that was everywhere all the time. There's actually more copies of Operation Wolf than there are air molecules in the world, and yet I've never played it. Never.
If you go to pretty much,
it.
yeah, if you go to pretty much any given arcade, you are most likely to find at least one machine playing this game.
Yeah, which was unfortunate because, if we lived in a culturally enlightened era, it would have been all chiller cabinets instead.
Yeah.
Get the machine gun, Kyle! Why aren't you ignoring the threat and shooting near the medics? What are you, a fascista?
Yeah, I don't want them to be able to heal themselves.
Don't do war crimes or you go home dishonored.
Yeah.
I know what you said, Nick, but it sounded like you go home for Sonic. which is definitely
not far off.
a way to dissuade people from committing war crimes.
Well, speaking of war crimes and chiller and all that,
Don't tell us about your war crimes, please.
This game also joins the ignominious clan of games I played as a child.
Hey.
Actually, I owned this one on NES. They had a port of that one, and I remember it stuck out to me because most video games in that era, when you lose, you just get a very generic text to tell you game over.
Yeah.
In this one, it actually shows a guy falling on the field, clutching his chest, like riddled with bullet holes.
Like Adam Sandler in our headcanon.
Yeah, with more holes.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that kind of stuck out to me because it's beyond just game over. It's like you specifically have died.
This is
You
just
were
like that
murdered.
AVGN episode about Friday the 13th.
What?
Remember the AVGN, everybody?
Yeah,
what
we
happens?
just put
Oh, never mind. All right. I was gonna say, does this game let you trick shot a coconut into people and like get mega extra points? Why didn't that ever happen in a Rambo movie? He just gets
He shoots a coconut and knocks a guy out.
Well, he shoots it out of the tree and then he shoots it again to ricochet it into somebody. And he just, during his blood fugue, he gets a little creative, He starts expressing himself through violence.
In the middle of this massive shootout, he just keeps taking errant pot shots to try to keep a coconut aloft. on a string of bullets.
Just considering, though, that this game is originally in a little recessed cabinet sort of thing, I just wonder how you play this without having a fucking seizure.
Yeah,
I'm in a well-lit
did
room,
not.
and the lights are flickering with such aggressive abandon that I don't think I'll ever be the same.
That guy's trying to kill me with a flamethrower.
And on top of that, the
God.
arcade machines have a hard plastic Uzi sort of controller that vibrates as you shoot, so not only is everything flashing, but you're also... Yeah, see?
Sorry, you are finished here.
He looks like Kamoshida from Persona 5. Maybe that's his backstory, and this is why he's such an asshole.
Choice decision.
Because he got shot to death in Vietnam.
That would make you an asshole, wouldn't it? I mean, you can see why somebody would not be good with kids.
You have to make a choice or a decision.
Okay. I did, right? Okay.
Use your... Yeah.
Bullet here. Oh, I was really good at
12
hitting
of
people.
one, a dozen of the
Oh,
other.
this is one of those fucking games where it makes you start over.
They want you to pay. Kyle, you ignored a lot of missiles that were available to pick up, and it made me annoyed.
Well, I'm glad.
What's the difference between the bullets and the clip? Like clip 6?
The clips, that's how many clips you have. So if I use all these bullets right here.
Oh.
Yeah, you do have limited ammo, so...
Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy you didn't make a Pink Floyd joke there, Kyle. Good for you.
What?
Yeah. Wait. No, Eclipse was a song, not an album. Whatever. That's why I don't do music jokes, Kyle. Get out of here.
Well...
Yeah, this is why you couldn't tell us about esoteric AI music videos. That's...
Esoteric...
Man,
rebrandings of songs that are already decades old.
If you guys were any sort of music inclined, that would have been such a killer fucking conversation. We could have linked so much shit, but now it'll never happen. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, whoever cares.
on my better days, I remember who Michael Jackson is, and that's about the extent of my musical knowledge.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, oh, I know. Here's an obscure. Here's a computer simulation of an album from 1991. These guys were 6 years old when it came out. Let me just. They'll be real interested to hear about it.
And I will tell you this much: I've listened to Nirvana and Gorillaz plenty, and that's still that shitty AI music. It just did not resonate with me in any way. It was like showing. It was like showing a watercolor painting to a dog. It meant nothing.
A watercolor painting of like a side of beef and expecting the dog's mouth to water.
You're holding up the Mona Lisa and looking Willie dead in the eyes like, what do you think she's smiling about? What do you think, Willie?
Well, Willie is
he just
currently
farts softly and whines.
Well, Willie is currently oozing goo out of his eyes, so I'm not going to ask him to look at anything.
So then it's exactly like that conversation earlier.
That was pretty much my response to that.
Whoa,
this is a very cathartic episode.
Shoot a child, Kyle.
I thought
we had to
shot
teach
him.
you that. I thought we had to teach you that lesson in another game.
Kyle, between shooting children and trying to make us talk about music, you've been really batting 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
You're really, you're going in the penalty box.
You're batting exactly 666. Jesus Christ, this is impossible.
I don't know much about baseball, but wouldn't that actually be really good?
Yeah, it is actually. Most baseball players. Oh my God, I killed the kid. Jesus! What is
It's like
happening here?
batting 1,000 would mean that you hit every pitch thrown at you, I think.
Yeah, most baseball players, if they're any good at all, are probably like sub 500. And that's like if you're like the best baseball player ever, you know?
Well, I think the computer voice was quite literally talking to us, the collective you there. So,
You are finished here.
While Kyle plays Wheel of Fortune with bullets, Russian Wheel of Fortune, the rest of us are going to move on with our lives.
Your history is obstructing intelligence.
I'm happy we got to yell at Kyle. We really got a lot off our chest.
How is this? This is the first time we've played this game, but how does it already know us so well?
You grew up with it, Nick. You guys are
I'm getting flashbacks to Dark Souls, which probably hasn't come out by the time this episode does.
Yeah. So it's a flash forward for everyone else.
Yeah.
You have one more try, Kyle.
Well,
Wait, why are you doing the exact same mission again?
because I can't do anything else.
I think it's linear.
You have to.
This game hates whoever the fuck is playing it.
I don't think it's even remotely possible to get past that second screen. This is Terminator 2.
They didn't make anything past the second level.
And they wasted their time, and they did.
Yeah. They're just like, fuck. We got to make it so people want to try to get past it. So they just made it impossible.
Yeah, designing arcade games must not have been very fulfilling. Because 90% of your work is just fucking pointless.
Well, this was back in the 90s, I think, right? Where quarters could buy, like, whole fucking stocks in Apple. So you could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah. It was one of those things like you could get a college education paid for with a part-time burger flipping job, and
Yeah.
quarters would set you up fat for life.
You could
One loaded Pac-Man cabinet could feed an entire Nigerian village for 3 years.
You could go to school, buy a house, and have 14 kids all on playing this arcade game.
And no one could get mad at you for being racist.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a 90s heist movie where instead of like robbing a bank, they're just trying to
Robbing
steal
an
arcade
arcade.
machines
Well, that's
at the end of the night.
That is almost literally the plot of the Trailer Park Boys movie.
That's funny.
Okay.
And it's funny because that's like really like a terrible idea in the current modern era.
That's really literally. Well, I mean, they have
Come on, Julian, let's steal a fucking arcade game,
in
right?
the context of that story where like their concept of retirement is getting more than a triple-digit sum of money in one place at one time. So it makes sense for the characters. Kyle, you did that fucking on purpose.
Yeah.
I would report you to your fucking commanding officer, and they would give me the runaround, and it would be Casualties of War by Daniel Lang.
to
You
be fair-
motherfucker!
Oh man, I wonder if
Use the bomb!
if there were ever any reports where somebody got brought in for violations, war crimes and such, and somebody else had to say, well, he was shooting at a whole gaggle of enemy soldiers, and like this bank teller just jumped up in front of him, hands raised, and said,
He's a bomb, he's a bomb, he's a bomb, he's a bomb!
My experience, Nick, you didn't have to tell on anybody. Those fuckers will just tell you that they've done something terrible. I've met so many people who were like, oh yeah, I was an infantry marine, and there's a guy who we shot and he didn't die, and then like we were worried that he was gonna blow us up, so we murdered him. And I'm like, wow, are you supposed to be telling me this? And then they
I mean, that's not a war crime. That's just a fucked up
against
reality.
the Geneva Convention, so yeah, it totally is a war crime.
Well, if you like that kind of content, be sure to come back next time where we play Pac-Man.
Yeah!